Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Today, as you see on your screen, we review the F15 Eagle. Yeah, guys, the Eagle finally in War Thunder. I know I'm a little late on making this video. In fact, I'm 4 months late or 3 months late, but we don't get into that. Anyway, this video is covering the F15A only, but I don't plan to make other videos on the two other F15s in the game, but I'll list out the few key differences between them. The F15J is an F15C, but is nearly identical. It has slightly worse flight performance compared to the F15A from the Israeli and US trees. It does get a better missile, the AM3 as it's known. However, it's mostly just an AIM-9M copy, as it has the same flare resistance. However, it pulls 10G more, at least on paper, but I have not been able to see it in practice. The Israeli one gets the Python 3s, which are very, very fast missiles. They're better kinetically and in overload as compared to the AIM-9M, but they are way less efficient because they lack IRCCM. IRCCM on the AIM-9M is basically that whenever you launch the missile, it keeps blinking its seeker, and basically it ignores flares. Like right now in this clip, as you can see in front of me, the Gripen gets absolutely clapped by the 9M because of IRCCM. Let's say that was a Python 3. The Python 3 would have been gone on the first flare of the Gripen. Alright, anyway, this video will have 2 ARB matches and a few matches of 1v1s. I wanted to show you the flight performance of this thing with the MiG-29s and flankers, because that's what you're going to be encountering most of the time. So let's get into the first ARB match. There's a MiG-29 in front of me. I launched an AIM-9M at him, and that connects beautifully. Amazing. There's a flanker behind us at 4 km. Let's I'm flaring because I know he's gonna launch an R-77ER at me, or an R-73 at me, and I'm correct. He launches an R-73 at me. I flare it. I turn around. I get a 6 o'clock very easily. He shoots out in front of me. I launch a few Vulcan cannon, and he's dead. He gets Vulcan. He eats a bunch of 20mm, and he's dead. Severe damage. I was a little scared here. He was gonna get an R-73 off, but we're gonna cut to the next match. Yeah, guys, I totally didn't die to an R-73. But anyway, I see a bandit at 27 km or something. I launch an AIM-7M Fox 1 at him, and the AIM-7M, especially with F-15, is lethal as long as you're not going against R-27ERs. Like, you can see how fast that 7M is going to the target. He's even trying to flare, but at this altitude, and especially at the speeds that F-15 can fly at, it's pretty much impossible to dodge the 9M unless AIM-7M, my bad, unless you pull some really harsh maneuvers. Okay. Looking down on the battlefield, we see a MiG-29, a Gripen, but I try to look behind the enemy to see if I can maybe utilize the AIM-7M, but I use the 9M here. Basically, the AIM-9M, as explained in my F14A video, is that it's extremely efficient at orbital striking your enemies. Like, I just killed that MiG-29. I launched an AIM-9M at some other plane. I launch a Fox 1 at that F-16. It doesn't track because he goes really close to the ground. However, we did get another kill with the AIM-9M, a Gripen A. So yeah, the 9M is very efficient in orbital striking. If you launch the AIM-9M above the enemy, it's basically a guaranteed kill because the seeker is very hard to notch, flare, and most people don't tend to look upwards. Okay. Fox 2 on this Gripen, it connects beautifully, once again demonstrating how efficient the 9M is in flare resistance and in ARB. Anyway, Mirage in front of us. I launch a Fox 1 at him. Unfortunately, it doesn't really track because he notches, and I can't, like the F14, I can't switch to track mode. So I go with guns. It hit beautifully. He eats a bunch of Vulcans again. Classic Mirage fashion, eating a bunch of Vulcans. Anyway, got a nice ace on our hands. There's a Mirage coming toward us. We have a nice ace on our hands, and there's a Mirage coming toward us. But I'm looking at him and it appears that he's on fire or he's damaged, but I realize that he's coming to kill me. And so I dodge his defers and roll out of the way by jinking, and our teammates get team killed in classic War Thunder top tier fashion. Okay, launch a Fox 1 at the Mirage, but he gets finished off by our teammates. Okay. Anyway, now I want to show you guys the dogfight performance of this thing with my friend Uli Kenobi. I would like to say thanks to him for helping me make this video. Thank you, Kenobi. Okay, round 1 flanker. We merge at around 800 kmh, 900 kmh. Yeah, you want to merge in dogfights at especially like above 800 but below 1000 with the F15, because that's a sweet spot for pulling a lot of AOA. Okay, anyway, he is also using sim controls in this video. It's allowed, and it allows us to pull some crazy maneuvers like this. He rolls on top of me. He doesn't shoot me because head-ons are not allowed. That was technically a head-on. I roll above him with landing flaps and with sim controls. And he eats... yeah, he gets freedomed. He eats a bunch of Eagle rounds and gets a bunch of freedom into his airframe. Okay, we got another round with a flanker. This time he's gonna try to do some maneuvers because he learned from last time that the Eagle is not something to mess with. This is a slightly better dogfight, I believe. Alright, we merge at 900 kmh. I go 1 circle with him, a vertical 1 circle. You can abuse the F15's chest to weight ratio. It's way higher than the SC-27. I could have shot him here, but as I just said, we don't have head-ons allowed. I wanted to prolong the dogfight as much as possible so I can show you guys the performance of this thing. He didn't shoot me here, even though he could have, but it was somewhat of a head-on. Right, moving into low-speed dogfight with this thing. I'm at 300 kmh. This is F15 territory, but it can also be flanker territory if he plays correctly. But as you can see, I'm managing to keep up with him here in with landing flaps and with sim controls, but now we have to exit to the raid fight. So I try to gauge some speed, go up to almost 500 kmh, but he does a mistake here, I believe. And he goes into 1 circle with me, and then he... yeah, I don't know what he's doing here, but it's not gonna end well for him. He gets freedomed again. He eats a bunch of Eagle rounds again. He gets Vulcaned. And he enjoys a nice swim in the Malta Sea. Okay, anyway. Moving on from the flanker, we have a dogfight with a Fulcrum, the mighty MiG-29. And we merge at 900 kmh with sim controls. And that allows me to get a head-on with him, which means he can't shoot me. He's also using sim controls, as you can see. And I use landing flaps and go above him and fall above him, which allows me to get basically onto a 6 o'clock. However, he tries to do Maverick move. He gets behind me, but I know how to counter this. And simply by going up and using landing flaps and by utilizing an air brake, I can get behind him again. In classic War Thunder fashion, I'm behind him again. And he's on my 12 o'clock and he is about to eat some freedom again. There we go, he gets some freedom. Anyway, round 2 of the fight. We have the Fulcrum again, merging at 900 kmh again. I merged a little fast here, unfortunately, but it's fine. It's only a negligible difference. Moving on, we have another head-on our hands. I go vertical again. Okay, I go vertical again, and then I fall on top of him with landing flaps. This allows me to get onto a 6 o'clock. I don't know what he did here, but he's probably going to eat some freedom again. Yeah, I get a radar lock on him, and I take off his wing, and he is dead. Okay. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Have a good day, everybody.